Mm. So you were saying that you were feeling the biannual beats, binaural beats within.
I mean, it was like such a deep, resonant, peaceful experience, and very quickly you could see that like I dropped into a meditative state, and your voice, you have so much control over your voice that I was following it, but I didn't know where you were going. So it's like this creates a very deep space, but there's a lot of magic in your voice. So it becomes like a creative, dreamy space, as well as actually being incredibly heavy and rich and peaceful in my body. So I'm very grateful for being able to, listen to your incredible sound.
You know, want to know a secret?
Yes.
I don't know what's coming next. So I get told, when I say told, I just feel maybe one note, maybe two notes in advance. I'll be lucky if I get 3 notes in advance. But so as I'm playing, I will just feel a leaning to particular notes, and I feel the difference between the frequency as to whether I need to play the note or sing the note.
It's really
beautiful. And I'll feel where I need to hold, and it's just holding me, and it's just holding me, and then I'll feel like I need to bring other frequencies into these particular things, into this particular moment, and so it makes me surrender, and it makes me listen, and it asks of me to simply replay what it needs and what needs to actually be heard and experienced.
It's beautiful. And I liked before when you were talking about inviting people to receive, because, you know, my instinct was like, I really wanted to sing with you. I wanted to get up and dance. And I was like looking for that moment to improvise, because we've had a really playful night, right? So it's like New Year's Eve or it's like New Year's Day. And so I was like with these new people, but it was, you know, it's a very powerful sound. And so I was interested to hear, like, do you instruct people ahead of time to stay seated or stay lying, or have you run sessions where you don't give them any instructions just to see what they would do?
So no, I always give instructions first, because for me, it's my responsibility to actually hold space for everybody. For me, what's really important is safety, so that everybody feels like they have the coping skills to be able to deal with whatever's going to come up for them, because something always comes up. And sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it'll bliss out, and sometimes it'll be challenging. So for a lot of people, they actually feel quite vulnerable because they're actually starting to feel themselves, sometimes for the first time. So that can be confronting for people. Sometimes it'll feel like a feeling, sometimes it'll feel like a sensation in the body, sometimes it'll feel like a memory will come up, a disturbance will come up, you know, a thought will come up. And so I always teach people in advance coping skills, so that when that does come up, they can actually have the tools, and they're empowered to actually then help those sensations move. So no, I don't tell them they have to stand and sit or move in any particular way. I actually give their body permission to be whatever it needs to be. If it needs to move, move. It needs to stay still, be still. Because a lot of the time our nervous systems and our lifestyle is not still. So these beautiful bowls, they call us into stillness. They call us into a reflective experience where we can give ourselves permission to let go.
And this is incredible. Like what I was, you know, again, what we were sharing before, like I was sharing with Katrina, we just have these incredibly overstimulated lives. We're so overwhelmed with complex information and complex, messy sound, right? When do we get a chance to listen to pure, creative, improvised sound? Like even in our improvised lives, sound is not a feature of it. And if you think Spotify is a main place where we hear music, it's very contrived and very produced. So it's incredible actually to be part of something that's a wave of sound that takes you to, it's surround sound experience, but it's such a simple gift. to be able to experience it. So thank you very much for sharing this with us on Happy New Year, Happy 2024.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, it's interesting also that you speak of the different frequencies, or the fact that we're called into that space just to listen and receive, because for me, I feel when people are coming into the space that, you know, whether they know it, whether they don't, whether it's improvised or whether they don't, they are absolutely overstimulated, and we're not in a society that honors stillness, honors a rest. We're, you know, being spat out like machines, and we're not machines, we're humans, and humans need balance. Homeostasis, from a scientific level, our bodies need balance. That's what it needs. Not too much, not too little. Balance. And so when we do have so much overstimulation, it's really hard to even hear who we are. Who we are. And so, you know, we get pulled and distracted into all these other things that we're not. And we get pulled into these feelings and conditions of those gone by. And it's actually about remembering who we are in our alignment, in what we came here to do, to say, to share. Like, we had a beautiful evening today of wonderful people all around with so much wisdom, and that's our community. That is our community. And we need more of that, and we need more of the sharing willingly. You know, we don't need to pay for everything. We can just honor and support each other. You know,
Absolutely.
we don't have to be forced into paying for everything. As long as there's a balanced exchange, one way or another.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, it's such a visual world too. Like when you said like listening to yourself, or I think we're losing the art of listening to others too, because there's
definitely.
like the voice inside our head. Oh, I've got to get that point across, and it's a highly visual world of visual expression, but we're losing an ability to hear ourselves and hear others, and actually just hear the sound around us. So I can see how this is like has a potential, I think, to be grounding and healing. And it's so visually really simple. Like, I didn't know what you were going to do, and I thought that they were vases. I was like, that's like pretty vases. And I was interested, you know, to me it wasn't obvious that it was a musical instrument, which I think also was really fun. I think I thought it would be metal. I actually thought it would be a design that would not be contemporary, but it is quite simple, and like it wasn't obvious to me what you were going to do next. So I think that also helped me to get into the zone, which is exciting. Yeah,
It pulls you into the present moment.
yeah,
And in the present moment, we're actually alive. We're not in the future, we're not in the past, we're present, and that's the gift. It pulls us into, well, how are we feeling? And what is actually in my current space? And how do I tap in and feel into that? And how does it want to influence me to move and feel and dance with the people around me? And what do I want to say? What do I want to express in that moment because of that stimulation? You know, and as we were speaking before, when people are talking, there is so much that comes into their ability to speak clearly, project, because their insecurities are coming up. All those false belief systems that we have, that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough, that we shouldn't speak up, can't speak up, mustn't speak up. We've been taught this. And so when you ask me, do I help people sing and encourage that? Yes, absolutely. So sometimes there's a time to receive, and absolutely I encourage everybody, and we'll be doing that more and more, to actually sing with me and show you how to protect this instrument, how to own it because it's yours, and how to then proclaim it and pronounce it and reclaim what, in essence, has been taken away from us. But it's still us, because that's an illusion that it's not with us. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
I kind of